Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Now, as we've mentioned before, Greg and I are huge Superman fans. So, what we say now, we say with love.
Oh, everything is with love.
Mm-hmm.
But I before we start though, I've just got to let you know, I've got more love for this film
Than a lot of people.
than 3.
Oh, yeah.
Because I reckon you're going to probably say I like 3.
But no. Well, let's start at the beginning. Where are we in the Superman franchise when Superman 4 comes out? We are at a point where...
And can I also just say, we know there's millions of podcasts out there that talk about Superman 4.
Yeah.
But
this is our opinion.
This is our opinion on it. So
And if you enjoy our opinion, here we go.
if you don't,
Go and listen to one.
there's millions out there. Please don't go. Please don't go.
Don't.
Please don't go.
That's it. They've gone.
Thanks.
Should we carry on? Let's just have a chat.
Let's have a chat.
So where are we in the Superman franchise? The Superman 1 and 2 have been a big success.
Yep.
Superman 3 not so much.
Well,
Box office wise, this is. So at this point, the Salkins are getting cold feet, aren't they?
and they decided to go with Supergirl,
Supergirl, yeah.
which we discussed, which you know our opinions on. Helen Slater.
And anyway, that debacle led to the rights being
What?
sold. Debacle. Oh my God, Greg, that's 3. You should be writing these down.
All memorised in my poche.
That led to the rights of Superman being sold to the Cannon Group.
Canon.
Cannon.
What a fabulous
Who
company.
have made some great films and some not so great films. They've made Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, can you leave that out? Because I want to question something about that in a minute.
Masters of the Universe?
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it there.
'Cause
We'll do another podcast about
No,
that.
it's not about that. It's about the timing of that.
All right.
So it'll make sense in a minute.
Right, so yeah, Canon have now got the rights to Superman, and they're going to produce Superman 4. Christopher Reeve is on board.
Well, you've forgotten something. He was only on board if he got to be a part in the writing of it, and if he got his own movie outside Superman that Canon would fund,
Which
was
what?
Street. Oh, this is going to bug me now. So you can tell we don't do this any research for this.
Somebody will know.
He had another film, and the guy who was in it with him got an award for it and everything. He didn't.
Right,
But Street Smart, something like that.
right.
Anyway, he that was his. I think Christopher Reeve only did Superman 4 because of that, if I'm really honest, because that was his big, breakout of being his own actor and all that.
Well, he did it, and so did Gene Hackman.
That was another reason that Christopher Reeve said, "I've got to have Gene Hackman back in it."
And Gene Hackman agreed to it, probably because Christopher
Reeve,
Reeve asked
isn't it?
him.
Yeah.
And then you've got, what's his name, from Two and a Half Men, John Cryer, as Lex Luthor's nephew.
Mm.
And also Clive Mantle, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Obviously, you got Lois Lane back as well.
Yeah. Margot Kidder. So the ingredients were all there, is what I'm saying. It was there. It could have been a return back to the glory days of 1 and 2.
Yep.
But what went wrong?
Well, we all know what. I'm sure everybody knows the story about the money. For me, though, it starts from the very beginning, though, because I hate to say this, Christopher Reeve had a hand in the writing, didn't he?
Yeah.
And it was predominantly his storyline, and he shouldn't have gone with that storyline. Because he asked, was it Richard Donner he asked, or the other guy?
Donner or Richard Lester?
Yeah, he asked. No, it was definitely Donner, but I don't know the other associate with Donner. What do you think of this plot? Making it more realistic. And he said, whatever you do, don't go down the real politics. He's Superman, because then you're opening a whole new world.
Yeah.
And Christopher Reeve didn't agree, and went along with it anyway, which I don't think was a bad thing. I don't think it was a bad thing. It's making it more realistic, isn't it?
So tell us the story about the money as well, then.
Well, they obviously had a large amount of money for it. Production started, and it got cut in half. So there you go. Everything, which, let's be honest, the main thing, even the flying, became the most ridiculous, embarrassing sequences of all the Superman films.
I think all you need to do to realise that the money had run out is watch the opening titles.
Oh, yeah.
Which were just a very pale imitation of the original Superman titles.
The music as well isn't the same. I mean, I like the music in the fourth one. It's actually the best thing about the film, I think. But it just hasn't got that.
They just made some bad choices, didn't they?
Well, have you ever seen the bits that were cut out that were at the start of the film?
Yeah, well, for those who don't know, the plot of Superman 4 is that Lex Luthor creates this super being,
Nuclear Man.
Nuclear Man, who is powered by the sun. In the film, we see Nuclear Man. What you don't see in the film that they originally shot was that Nuclear Man in the film was Lex Luthor's second attempt. His first attempt went horribly wrong, and his first attempt was played by none other than Casualty legend Clive Mantle. And
If you're in America, Casualty is a TV show over here that's
a bit
very
like
popular.
ER.
Yeah, it is. But,
It's
but,
nothing
but
like
very,
ER.
but very different.
Very British.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, Clive Mantle, and I urge you to jump onto YouTube when this podcast is finished, not right now,
please.
and go and look for the Superman 4 deleted scenes with Clive Mantle playing Nuclear Man, because they're so unfinished that it's just
But even that. I mean, the whole thing of that, it made a mockery of Superman.
yeah.
It just wouldn't. I mean, that's probably the best thing they did. Cut that out.
Somebody has watched that at some point, whether it was in the Daily Rushes or in the edit, and gone, we can't use this, haven't they?
Well, yeah, but they would have used it though. This is the best bit. The only reason they cut it out is because of money. They had to make the film shorter. So there was like 20 minutes of the film completely chopped.
Well, I hope that they'd had planned some great effects for that clip, because Clive Mantle is a very effeminate Nuclear Man.
Oh, what?
Effeminate.
This is getting ridiculous,
I
Jason.
know. So yeah, we're just really glad that bit was cut out of it. I mean, you've got to. The whole saving grace for Superman 4 is Christopher Reeve, because he's still just phenomenal.
He is, but again, as a big fan, you can see that he. I don't want to say doesn't look bothered, but you can see he's deflated all the way through the film. Let me just use one instance. I'm probably jumping miles ahead of you, but you know when if you've never seen it, that the Great Wall of China gets blown up by Nuclear Man, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he's putting it back together with his beams from his eyes.
That's one of the worst bad choices. He just looks at the wall and fixes it.
Yeah.
That's a bad choice.
But it's the way he does it. There's no, like in this, like I don't know, when he's doing stuff with his eyes and all that in the first two, he's like his eyes are really mean and everything. In this one, he's just standing there, and you can see he's not that bothered.
There's no effects over it, is there?
No.
There's no rays coming out of his eyes.
No, there's a blue ray,
is
which has
there?
never been done before. I've never seen blue but there's a blue bit, and then he gets up and flies, and you can see all the wires.
He seems to have these new powers with his vision, because at the very beginning of the film, when he goes back to the Kent farm, he opens the cellar to look at his ship, and then when the estate agent pulls up, he just looks at the ship and it disappears.
I don't know whether that's because is he doing that?
I don't know,
Oh.
but that's what the impression that I got. That
When he looks through that wall, when he looks through that shed, that effect, you can tell it's just so cheap.
But the thing with Christopher Reeve is he transforms from Clark Kent to Superman like no other actor.
There is nobody that could do that better.
Even that opening scene in the Kent farm.
Yeah.
He's in the barn looking through, and he's taking his glasses off, and he's Superman. He's in plain clothes, but he's Superman. You know, he doesn't have to have the suit on. But as soon as the car pulls up, the glasses go on, and he comes out of the barn.
Hello,
and
Mr. Hornsby.
He's Clark Kent. And just those glasses, it's not just the glasses that make the transformation.
It's his
Christopher
demeanour, isn't it?
Reeve.
It's his whole
He's
body shape
just-
and everything.
Brandon Routh couldn't do it.
I'm dreading what the new one's going to be like.
Yeah.
Dean
it's-
Cain. Oh my,
don't
what
even
the?
go there.
What was?
But he just does that like.
You believed it was two people, didn't you?
Yeah,
You know,
you
you know,
could.
like with Dean Cain. No disrespect, Dean Cain. But you know, like with Dean Cain, it was a bloke with glasses on.
Yeah.
That was the difference. With Christopher, it was completely different bloke.
I mean, the Dean Cain thing wasn't 100% Dean Cain's fault, was it? I mean, he was probably the right choice in the 90s to play a TV
Really?
Superman.
Let me think about this. He was scared of heights. Oh, let's play Superman.
No, but they decided that the story wasn't about Superman being
Lois
a
and
hero.
Clark.
The story was about the love affair between Lois and Clark. I mean, I don't particularly like the series. I watched it, and I'll probably watch it again at some point.
I've got it if you want to borrow it.
Oh, thanks.
It's alright.
But
He never flew in it.
well,
You never see him flying in it.
my life wouldn't be any worse if they'd never made
No.
That TV series.
No.
Same with Superboy. What was that all about?
Oh, well, are they bringing that back?
Apparently, so. Oh no, Supergirl is coming back. They've cast Supergirl as well. Apparently, I don't know who it is, but
Oh, yeah, I read about that the other day. Well, that's another podcast, isn't
yeah,
it? Well, Superboy will be.
yeah.
So, 4. Where are
So
we?
we're just
Let's
talking
do-
about the fact that Christopher Reeve plays Superman like no other person can, and that is what makes him the quintessential Superman. There's another one for you.
Sorry, I've lost. I'm going to go through a couple of things. Right, the costume, it was slightly lighter blue.
Yeah.
Wasn't as good.
However, there was still a moment, a goosebump moment, when he steps out of the telephone
Yeah,
booth
with his boot.
and the camera pans up and he's Superman. That's still a goosebump
I've actually
moment.
seen that costume. It's in one of the Disney. Is it MGM in Disney, Florida?
I've never
If you're in
been.
Florida, you'll know. Yeah, they've got that one and Gene Hackman's suit. You know, the burgundy one. Just thought I'd let you know that.
Thanks.
It's incredible to see it though. It really is. But the first thing you notice is it's a lighter blue.
Yeah,
It's not quite right. His hair wasn't the same, but that was a wig by that time.
right.
The flying, they used the same sequence about 25 times in the film of him flying. They filmed it at different angles. It was all the lines around him from the screen behind. You can see, that blurriness,
Yeah,
and the couple of fight scenes that, I mean, I don't know where to start. You can see that they're just standing on the floor, and it's supposed to be in space. You can see the footprints and the moving on. Just if you've never ever seen this, I'm sure you all have, but just have a look because the fight scene. There's one point where he's flying above Nuclear Man, and you can see the massive 2 buckles either side under his cape. Honestly, all you have to do is pause now. The day and age of DVDs, thank God, you can just pause, and it's there. 2 massive silver buckles. What? Why didn't they just colour it out?
I don't know. I think, like I said, I think they made some bad choices in this film, and there's one bit in particular that really stuck out for me and still does. There's one problem I always had with the earlier film. Is it 2, at the end of 2, where he kisses Lois Lane and she suddenly forgets everything. I hate that.
That was
scene.
Lester's idea, that was, wasn't it? Richard Donner
it's
didn't do that.
Just, suddenly Superman's got these all-powerful memory lost kisses.
Mm.
No, it just didn't work for me at all, that bit. I hated it. So then they go and use it again in Superman 4. Lois comes round, he walks off the balcony, suddenly reveals to her that he's Superman again. She says that she never really forgot, so the kiss didn't work. But then he kisses her again, and she forgets again. So is she pretending she's forgotten, or has she actually forgotten
That's
this
a
time?
good point. There was 2 incidents in that one. I mean, I've watched it a million times. Yeah. So does she know all the way along then?
Well, in Superman 4, it was just a little plot device because they needed
It's really interesting, though.
they needed for him to be able to talk to someone for a minute.
Did you see that flying scene? Him and Lois?
Yeah, it was horrendous.
That really is diabolical.
Yeah, it is.
So where are we now in the film?
So now Nuclear Man has been created because that's it. We have to talk about this bit because Superman has agreed that he's going to rid the world of nuclear weapons.
Can you turn that heater off? By the way, just to let you know, it's -10 here in our part of the world. So we've got heaters on, and now I'm sweating. Just to let you know. Thanks, Jace.
The heater's off. There you go.
Thanks.
So sorry about that unprofessional interlude.
Oh, what? It's. God, I've got such a headache.
So yeah, Superman has agreed. He's been called out by the newspaper, hasn't he? Because this little lad writes a letter saying, "Superman, please can you rid the world of nuclear weapons?" So the new owners of the Daily Planet call him out with a sensational headline, and Superman agrees to rid the world of nuclear weapons because that's his decision. Obviously, shouldn't interfere and all that, but he does.
No.
So he begins to rid the world of nuclear weapons, and every nuclear weapon that he can find or is fired, he intercepts and throws them into space or into the sun.
Into the sun, yeah. Blows up.
Yeah, thus making the sun even more powerful to power Nuclear Man, who is on his way. So Lex Luthor has procured...
This is just outrageous. I'm sorry, listeners.
has procured a strand of Superman's hair, which he had donated to a museum to show how strong his hair was.
Which is hilarious. Have you seen that clip?
Is that where he cuts through it?
Yeah, have you seen this? He cuts through it with a massive pair of pliers
Yeah.
because it's holding a big 20-ton ball, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it drops. and it smashes through the floor. But if you notice, before he cuts it, the floor already drops.
I'll have to have a look at
Honestly,
that.
the floor drops before the ball hits it, and they didn't think to redo that.
You know that people have just switched off now and are going to go and watch that clip.
Well, I suggest
The
they
last
do.
listener has just gone.
Oh, so we're down to me and you now then.
Yeah. So let's,
Yeah, have a look at that though, because that's really, because they didn't even think, oh, no one will notice that, but it's so
But
obvious.
The thing is that they're going on about how strong Superman's hair is, and then Lex Luthor cuts it with some
Pair
block
of scissors.
cutters. Anyway, anyway,
Yeah.
so he extracts Superman's DNA and creates
From a piece of hair, which is incredible.
he creates this substance that is apparently
Cut
the
some,
building blocks of a superhero.
cut some fabric,
Yeah.
throws that into a little. It's like a money box, isn't it?
Then, to cut a long story short, convinces some people to stick it to a nuclear weapon. They fire it, and Superman intercepts it, throws it into the sun, and thus creates Nuclear Man. And Nuclear Man is then introduced.
Who
to
incidentally
Superman.
looks like He-Man.
Yeah, he does. And then Lex Luthor has that ridiculous broadcast that only Superman can hear frequency. And he lures him in and introduces Superman, and so the fight begins.
Also, the voice of him is Lex Luthor. Well, it's Gene Hackman. The guy playing Nuclear Man didn't know this until the final film.
Right.
So he was a little bit distraught, I think. Well, you would be, wouldn't you? You got
Yeah.
your big break. Because he hasn't done many films, has he, since?
He didn't know it. Well, in the script, when he first appears, Lex Luthor says, "You've got my voice."
Well, no, that he didn't know about it.
And then he says, "No, you've got my voice." So maybe he thought he was going to get to overdub Lex Luthor.
Oh, yeah, maybe, yeah. That does make... Yeah, that's interesting, that, though. He does say that in the script. Maybe that was... No? Why did he not know,
I
then?
don't know.
Oh, that's... I'm going to have to go on YouTube myself now. In fact, I'm going to go.
No,
I'll leave you to
finish
it.
this. It's just me. So then it goes on, and Superman gets injured, doesn't he?
Well, do you know what happens?
No.
This is Superman, yeah? He gets a scratch on the neck,
Yeah, that's right.
which nearly kills
Yeah,
him.
but by nuclear nails. Yeah, and
Did
like
you just say nuclear nails?
and I just
Wow,
moved
you have just...
on. I just went straight through
You've
it.
got your own little, like, your market of merchandise here and everything. I can see the kids now running around
Nuclear
with nails.
nails.
Nuclear nails.
That scene, though, is like the scene in Superman Returns where he gets stabbed with the kryptonite. It genuinely upsets me.
Oh, that's horrible in Returns.
Yeah, well, that scene in Superman 4 is like that for me, when he's
No.
really, really ill.
Oh, no, that bit in Returns is horrible. He's getting stabbed.
I know, yeah. I
can't put that
handle
in.
it.
Wrong. Wrong.
So, yeah, then he gets better and he defeats Nuclear Man.
Well, no, he uses that green thing again, doesn't he? The crystal?
Yeah,
again? I
Again.
mean, they must
But
have just run out of
I'm
ideas.
sure at some point they said once its power is once its power is used, that's it. You can't.
Yeah, he says in the first. That's why he's looking down in the Kent farm.
Yeah. Well,
But
surely
they've
he
said it
used it
before
all
that.
up.
What
Surely
about
he used it all up in Superman 2 when he
gets beaten
did
up?
the switch.
Yeah. I agree. They must have just lost ideas.
Well, they obviously had.
So now he's better.
Yeah. Defeats Nuclear Man, and all is well with the world. But the one thing that we haven't talked about.
Did you know his daughter's in it as well, Superman?
No.
That was actually, there's a bit that's cut out. I've seen it a million times. There's a bit where he goes onto a farm where Nuclear Man's created a tornado. That's a tornado, isn't it? The spinning one.
Yeah, yeah.
He's created a tornado, and this family get going down to their bunker, whatever you call it, and the girl gets whipped up into the and he comes down and flies and saves her, and
That's his daughter.
that's his real daughter
Alright.
in real life.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
A little bit of Superman trivia there
Thanks very
for
much.
me.
I'm here all week.
So the one thing we haven't mentioned, and you know what I'm going to say now, is when he goes to the United Nations to tell them that he's going to rid the world
Yeah.
of nuclear weapons.
Mhm.
Obviously, the budget wasn't what it should be. So that scene was filmed in Milton Keynes.
You can't get much more glamorous.
Was it Milton Keynes bus depot or something ridiculous?
Well, if you look at the actual bit where he's walking through with the crowd, Superman, to make it really authentic and American authentic, they put one of them water extinguisher things, whatever you call it, in the middle.
Hydrant.
Yeah, just in the middle of the pavement.
Yeah.
That's it. There is nothing else.
Well, the thing that makes me laugh about that scene now is when you don't know that it's filmed in Milton Keynes, it's fine, you just accept it and you move on. But when you know that it's filmed in Milton Keynes, there's a scene where Superman first lands and the crowds gather around the hot dog stand that they've put there, because we have loads of those in England.
Of course we do. When it's -10 as well.
And all of a sudden you look at those people and they look like British actors, extras, trying to be American with baseball caps on sideways, and there's a guy with a pencil moustache that is just so British, it's unbelievable. And he's trying to be American. You don't notice that until you know that it's filmed in Milton Keynes.
It's just everything that they've just put a building up. Well, they haven't put a building up, but they put a sign on this building saying Daily Planet.
Yeah.
That's it.
United Nations.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing. It's the same building as the Daily Planet.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
No.
It's the same.
I tell you what,
where they
we're
go
gonna
out
do.
and go in, it's Daily Planet.
I'll tell you what we're going to do, Greg. Should we get funded on Indiegogo for our TV project, we're going to make an episode where we go and visit the filming locations of Superman 4
Wow.
in Milton Keynes.
I wonder if they've got a plaque.
I'm sure they have. That won't be a full episode, by the way. Don't worry. It'll just be part of an episode.
Oh, I think that'd be good because other people have done that. And like the guys in America, he's gone to all the Superman. I mean, that's much more glamorous than us.
Yeah, we're going to Milton Keynes.
We'll go to Milton Keynes. Just one random building where they filmed everything.
Hey, that's a good idea for a little segment in the programme, isn't it? UK filming locations. Because there's been quite a few movies filmed here.
Well, Superman 2, that bit in the... No, Superman 3, you know the bit where he lands? And... No, it's 2, isn't it? No, it's 3. The scrapyard bit I'm on about.
Yeah.
That's in London. That's in the Battersby... You know, that listed
power
building?
station?
Yeah, it's there.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
Right,
there.
right.
So we could go there and film that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
In fact, wasn't all Superman filmed in Britain anyway?
Yeah, they were all filmed on... is it Pinewood or Elstree or one of those big studios?
See, we're not lucky, are we, to have like a studio set here?
No.
We can go and visit like the Americans do.
Well, they're filming the new Star Wars in the UK, aren't they? The on-set bits.
But they never
Soundstage
open them, do they? You know what I mean? Like you can get to see that. We've got one over here now called the Harry Potter Studios, haven't we?
Yeah.
Which is genuine, and that's very good, apparently.
I've never been, but it is apparently genuinely the set that was used and genuine props and all that kind of thing. So there's a little, if you want us to come and do a review of the Harry Potter world, please send us 2 family tickets, Harry Potter world, and we'll come and do that.
I don't like Harry Potter.
Oh, well, I'll take mine.
What? Your 3-year-old kids are going to do this next podcast?
Yeah.
Great. Are you saying they're better than me?
Yeah, they're better than us.
They'll
Greg.
understand the words better than I will.
So let's talk about box office. Compare the box office of Superman 4 to what we just talked about for the Turtles. The budget for Superman was $17 million. And get this, its takings at the box office were 15,681,000.
So the only way they've
lost 1.5 million.
So the only way they've made the money is probably DVD sales.
Yeah, will have probably made the money back.
But I can't stress this enough though. It's still one of my favourites.
Yeah. I mean,
I remember going to the video shop, and you know, bless my dad, he used to take me up, and I always used to get the Superman videos, whether it be 1, 2, 3, or 4, always. But the one I always used to grab the most was 4, with that cover, you know, the one where he's flying in the air and he's ripping the top of his. That to me is my childhood 4, and I don't know why, because. But no, I do know why, because you've explained it about 3 or 4 times in the past in our other podcast. You don't look at it the same way you do now, and as a child, I never saw any wires. I wasn't looking for buckles. I wasn't looking for CGI effects and all that.
Do you know what? It has its problems, but it still sits with the other films for me.
It's better than 3.
You know, like Rocky, I have a hard problem accepting Rocky 5 as part of the
Well, I think everyone does,
series
don't they?
because it was just horrendous.
Well, even he said that, didn't he?
Yeah. But like with Superman 4 has got its problems and lots of them. However, it is still part of the Christopher Reeve Superman franchise for me. And it always will be. I can tolerate watching Superman 4 more than I can watching Back to the Future 3.
Oh, any day. You know my feelings on Back to the Future 3. I don't know why they bothered.
But, you know, so if you haven't seen Superman 4, do give it a watch if you're a Superman fan. But if you're a Superman fan, you probably have. But if you haven't watched it for a long time, give it a watch. I think I'm going to watch it
Well,
tonight.
I've watched it on Blu-ray recently, and it's great seeing the buckles in HD.
Yeah.
Really good. Honestly, though, I can't stress you enough, though. I still think it's better than Superman 3.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I think
Too much of a comedy.
I think Superman 3 had the budget, but it still didn't. It lacked something else.
I think as well, you know, like you said, there's some films that frighten you. Did you say? Did you? Oh, I just made that up.
I think you just made that up.
No, something scared you as a kid or something.
Oh, that scene in Superman 3
Oh,
scared the living bejesus out of me.
the bit where the woman goes,
Yeah, where
oh,
she turns into the robot.
that is horrible. The
Yeah.
ropes around the face. That still gets me now.
It was on ITV2 not so long ago. That's like a cable channel here in the UK. And
because we're so global.
I know, yeah, listen to us like we think we've got listeners all over the place.
Yeah.
We've got one bloke in Milton Keynes who's just gone, woohoo, they had named my town.
Well, I've got a bloke in the Everglades listening to us, though.
Apparently so, yeah.
He's probably in Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
Really. He's just making it up.
What was I just saying?
You were saying about that rope bit around the face,
Oh,
the wire bit.
Yeah, Superman 3 was on TV the other day, and me and the kids were watching it, and they were surprisingly into it. And that scene came up, and I turned it over. Not because I thought the kids would be scared, because I was going to be genuinely scared.
And you know what? The amount of people I speak to, they're exactly the same. That's like Jackson's Thriller. You know, you jump behind the settee at the one bit.
Oh, don't. I mean, we'll have to do a podcast about that, but when I was a kid, I didn't go to bed for weeks after that premiered.
Oh, well, we had to wait up, didn't we, till like 3 in the morning, didn't we, over here for it? Yeah, I was the same. But it still gets me every time. And I don't know, all that bit with, God bless him, Richard Pryor in it, the skis on the jumping down, and that's what... I can't say I4's more believable, because it isn't.
No.
But I do think, again, that's me going back to my childhood. It was the one I always used to grab at the video shop, and it's the one I love the most. Obviously, 1 and 2 is probably the better ones.
It was on TV last night.
1?
Yeah. Watched a little bit.
1's more of a heartstring, isn't it? A pull of your heartstrings.
1
2 is
now,
just...
I think came out in 78, didn't it?
Yeah, we can't talk about that one, can
we?
we?
We can. We always said we're not going to limit ourselves to the 80s in these podcasts. We've just talked about a film that was released in 2014.
Right, Rihanna's next then.
So, 1978, I mean, that film is getting on towards 40 years old now, isn't it? Which is ridiculous.
Do you think Christopher Reeve looks a bit older in this one, though? I mean, obviously he is, but what I mean is, again, maybe that's the lack of enthusiasm, because I think he just thought, I've got to do it. It's been cut. The budget's been cut. I've just got to do it. And I think you can see that in him a little bit. I really do.
I don't know.
Because it was only, what was it, 86? 87?
87, yeah.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. He-Man.
Yeah.
This is what baffled me. Right. I've got the video in front of me, and it's made by Canon.
Yeah.
As we know, He-Man Master Universe. Released in 1987.
Yeah.
They had no problem with budget for this film.
No.
Why? Did they have a problem with Superman then?
Let's look into that, Greg.
Let me tell you, what would you rather have had? At that time, would you rather have had The Return of Superman, Superman 4, with a big budget, or Masters Universe?
You see, you need to ask my 11-year-old self that. Because I was a massive Masters of the Universe He-Man fan.
Yeah, I was.
That was everything I wanted for Christmas was He-Man and all that. However, I was also a Superman fan, but I think I'm more of a Superman fan now than I was then. I loved Superman, don't get me wrong. I probably loved He-Man a bit more. If you'd have asked me that, I'd have said, oh, a He-Man film.
All right, then. Here's another question, then. Would you have rather had Superman 4 then, knowing it's the, you know, it's not a new Superman or anything like that, it's Christopher Reeve and everything, or, because I'm sure when you heard about a Masters Universe film coming out, for some reason you probably thought it was a cartoon. It ruined it for me when I found out that it was all real life.
Let's do Masters of the Universe in the next podcast.
I should watch it then.
Say about it.
Well, I should watch it. I've bought it and I haven't watched it for years. So
yeah, let's do that.
But that's in.
And we'll look into that budgetary thing.
But I'm fascinated why they spent so much money on that, and yet Christopher Reeve had to suffer so much. 17 million.
Well, they obviously lost faith in Superman 4, didn't they? Somewhere along the line, something went wrong. So.
But that'll be interesting to see how much Christopher Reeve got paid for it, because they must have given him such a big pay packet to come back. Because he said, I'm not doing it again, didn't he?
Yeah.
After 3.
So, I mean, in conclusion,
Ooh.
we don't dislike Superman 4, do we? But as grown-ups, we now know that it's got its problems, and we know why.
I think everybody feels sorry for Superman 4.
Yeah.
Because it should have been.
It's not. I don't think it's the disaster of a movie that some reviewers and people make it out to be.
No. I still, like I said, it's still one of my favourites.
Yeah, it's still got its merits, and like you said, it was made in the 80s, so it takes us back to our childhood, and that's probably, it's a nostalgia thing for us. Whereas,
It just, again, and I know it's money, but it still baffles me that it's 1987, and in 1978 they had better effects than they did then, even on a cheap budget.
yeah,
That still gets me. I mean, you could probably do a Superman film now on a cheap budget. You could, couldn't you?
yeah. Well, they haven't. They've spent a fortune on the last Superman film.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm
and
saying is
filled it full of CGI.
I'm really worried. And
I
putting
mean,
Batman in it as well. It's just-
We will talk about Batman versus Superman, I'm sure, in the future. But at the moment, I have no enthusiasm for that
No.
movie whatsoever.
Well, we haven't even, me and you, as Superman fans, we've never off microphone ever said, let's do Man of Steel one.
Yeah.
Podcast.
We've never said, oh, can't wait for that Batman versus Superman film.
Well, I've bought Man of Steel, but it's still in the cellophane. I haven't opened it. I can't bring myself to watch it because it's just.
It's not horrendous, Man of Steel.
Oh no, but
It's
I'm
not-
traditionalist. Where's the music?
Yeah, that's one of its biggest
I
problems.
want the music in it. And I know a lot of people say you got to move on, something new generation, and I agree with that.
I mean, we have talked about this in previous podcasts that at some point they have to decide whether they're making a film for the fans or a film for a new generation of fans. And I think that's what they've done with Man of Steel.
well, they
and I'm
tried it
sure
with
there are-
Returns, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm sure there are hundreds and thousands and millions of people who love Man of Steel, but it's not.
I think what he did with Returns was bang on. I just think it wasn't delivered particularly very well.
No,
I think
Bryan
his
Singer-
passion, yeah, he did.
He did play to the fans in that movie.
He was great. The way he opened up. I mean, going to cinema again and hearing that music.
Yeah.
You know, unless you get to cinema that we've just watched Turtles in. But hearing that music in the cinema fresh now was brilliant. I just think that it was a bit flat.
Didn't pull it off, did he?
No.
He had a lot of promise, but didn't pull it off.
And he wasn't a bad Clark Kent either, was he?
No.
That's another subject, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Superman 4, out of 10.
Oh, I mean, you can't.
Well, I'm going to give it an 8. Just because
Yeah,
it's
but that's
my
just
childhood.
nostalgia. that's
As a
saying
film,
that. Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
You can't give it any more than that, really, can you?
Yeah, your nostalgia factor is up there. But if you look at the film from a technical perspective, if we were reviewing that film now, you would have to give it a low score. Wouldn't you?
What if we can get that guy on a podcast?
Who?
Nuclear Man.
Let's find out.
Yeah. Well, we've got a big one on the other one, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
That's the one.
So that's about it.
Yes, so we'll be back next week, won't we? Do another one.
Well, hopefully, yeah.
Well, I'll say next week. But if you listen to this 3 weeks in the future, then we'd have done them.
Oh, yeah, that's a point. If you were listening to this and we were on about the Indiegogo project, that's obviously only live during November of 2014.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this in 2015, it's been and gone. So just look on the YouTube channel, see if we actually made any episodes of that, see whether we got funded or not.
I could be dead by then.
Well, who knows, Greg?
You were going to say hope so then, weren't you?
No,
You were.
You ended up in a ditch last time, didn't you?
Still getting over that, you know. That was
Anyway.
horrible.
That's it from us.
Take care, everyone. See you
Ta-ra.
soon. Ta-ra.